floor space.
I think so. Yeah.
It's like 10 more seconds.
It's okay. We're good to go.
No, just wait for it to finish.
Oh, the song. Okay.
No, but that's when I was still considering, and also because like at that time I was still
Okay.
underage. So yeah, my parents would be like,
Alright guys, it is time, it's 30 after. If you're just walking in, we've got some beautiful floor space that you can come in. Fire circle guys, fire circle. Alright. Hi guys, welcome to the underrated K-pop groups panel slash workshop slash club meeting thing. We're not really entirely sure what we fall under, but we're here and we're going to talk about underrated groups, how to support them, the goods, the bads, all the fun stuff.
And hopefully have time for you to pump up some of your favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah, we want to know who you love.
Come in guys, come in. Don't be shy. They're like, "Oh, come back." But I'm Brianna. I run Kpopaholic, even though it's dead. I've also been a guest here since 2014 for the cosplay stuff. I've done like gaming panels here as well. I've actually done a similar panel to this back in 2014, and bigger turnout than what it was then. But cool. Go ahead.
I'm Sui, and I'm from the Kpop Konverters. It's a YouTube channel that we started 3.5 years ago after we first got into K-pop, and we felt this burning desire to talk to somebody about it, so we figured why not start a channel and talk to whoever would watch us. And
I'm Toto. I am Sui's daughter, so I'm also part of the K-pop Converters. Yeah, we're just kind of like a mom-daughter K-pop team, and we love underrated groups.
underrated groups, one of our favorite things, and we're all and we watch and react to some of them on our channel, even though like 0 people are watching us react to them. So who cares?
But to give them some,
We want to pump them up anyway. Yes.
What have you ever been into an underrated group that's like gotten popular?
Up Tension is happening right now.
Oh yeah, that's really cool.
So that
Attention is my ultimate bias group, and it's been really interesting. We'll talk about this later.
well, maybe we just talk about it.
Yeah.
So you know that 2 members from Attention were on Produce X 101, and they're getting so much attention right now, and now there's a lot of new fans coming to Attention, which is awesome. But it makes us nervous because the new fans tend to be solo stands of the 2 boys that were on Produce X 101. What's that?
Ushin did,
One made it and one
or
didn't.
Usak. Y'all know him as Usak,
Yeah.
probably.
No, it really sucks.
Yeah, so it would have been nice if they'd have both made it, but now one did and one didn't, and now the thought is that the one that didn't will come back to Attention, but now there's all this talk about the other group being started that's called BY9? BY9?
That's not happening.
It's not happening?
Not happening.
See, last I heard, I could hear the buzzes going on, so,
It's not happening.
which makes me sort of,
Not happening.
see, and I feel sad because that would be good for Wei, I know is Wei, but I want him back in Attention, so, I'm selfish that way, so. But it's very interesting to see what's happening with that group and having all these new people come in, and it's exciting and scary at the same time.
Yeah, there's been a lot of like contention in the Honey 10 fandom of like,
Of like what we want to
Like-
happen with our boys.
yeah, yeah, it's been interesting and kind of sad at times.
Yeah. We don't want contention in our fandom. All right, so the first thing I think we need to discuss is the difference between underrated and underappreciated. And I've got a list here of things that I kind of think, and I asked Twitter one day what they thought, and let's see if you guys agree with this. We think that underrated is a group that is not popular, not well known, but
Like if someone were to say their name, most people would be like, I have no idea who you're talking about.
right.
Like I can probably say one right now. Kondanji.
Know that one?
The one person in this group.
Versus like underappreciated, which is probably a group maybe we've heard of that's out there doing things but doesn't get appreciation from either fans here, fans in Korea, and
It's like they've reached a peak and they can't quite get past it.
so like what would be an example of that?
Ladies Code.
Say again?
Ladies Code.
CLC? I would agree with CLC. Huh?
Lovelies.
Lovelies?
Lovelies.
A lot of the girl groups tend to be in that underappreciated thing, and there's a few reasons for that I can discuss now or later about girl groups.
Yeah, I don't know when to do it. There's so much to talk about.
We don't have enough time.
Well, I just let me go through this list really fast. So I think underrated is a group that has a small fan base. They're from a small company usually. They have like low numbers. If we were looking at numbers, like if you look at their music videos, their count's going to be low. Their subscribers on their channel might be low or lower than normal. Like it's weird if we find a group that we like that has a lower subscriber count than we do. We're like, oh, that's just bizarre that there's a group out there that anyway. So they're low in the numbers. I listed maybe you don't see them on things like Weekly Idol or M Countdown or
Just the music
the all the shows. We're talking a little bit about groups that get dissed by their companies and end up on hiatus, or they end up disbanding. Most people haven't heard of them. We said that their albums and their merch are hard to find in stores. Even if you go over to Choice Music and you say, hey, do you guys have Say Yes? And they're like,
Who's
who the
that?
heck is that? Do you guys know Say Yes? Yeah, I don't think anybody's even heard of them.
I have.
Have you? One of our favorite underrated groups.
They haven't done anything.
They haven't done anything for years, but anyway. So is there anything else you guys would add to that list, or do you think I covered what it means to be underrated?
What about groups that have like, I don't know, one song that's just kind of recently blown up, kind of almost like Pink Fantasies type situation where they've had songs before and that's kind of been background, and then they release Fantasy and that kind of just like, they kind of
That
just.
would kind of go into the underappreciated.
So people have heard of it, but they
Like they only know that one song.
Like,
it's just that one song, yeah.
kind of like with SF9 and Pentagon, like the first few songs were like really, really crappy. And then like they released another song, and then it's like everyone's like, oh my god, it's Pentagon and SF9. Oh my gosh. Like, what was it? Solo Mio for SF9 like blew up. But like all the previous songs, everyone's like, huh? What?
So then once that song happens, then they kind of move from one category to the other?
They're gonna stay in like they'll probably go from like underappreciated into like underrated, and then they've kind of like got to get up against that hump, and then just kind of come to like, here I am, hello, everyone knows me. Hi.
How about Moonlight? Because like before Boom Boom, they were like didn't like
Nobody knew them.
Yeah, I didn't know who it was before.
Well, weren't they still like considered rookies though?
Yeah, they
So they've only had like
The biggest single
one or two songs. So
Yeah, I think that was their fourth.
Yeah.
it's really hard when it comes to.
Would VAB be considered like underappreciated? Since
I would consider them underrated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely underrated because like people know them,
VAB.
and like they had their like little world tour here,
And
but
they're
then
still small. Like you could,
Yeah.
You can go to a concert probably and it'd just be a small little, yeah.
Where would Ace be?
Oh,
I think they're moving to underrated
yeah,
to
they're definitely
underappreciated.
going from
Because they're getting more popular,
Very
right?
popular here in the U.S., but not popular in Korea.
Yeah, and that's a tough one because I don't know how to
And
talk
it's
about
partly because a lot
two
of
different
like when
places.
they released their songs, it started out with an EDM type of style, and a lot of like K-pop fans in Korea and a lot of like older gen fans don't really like EDM because it reminds them of raving and like whole thing. So it kind of like took them a second to kind of like get over that hump of we're not just an EDM group. Like it was cool, it was definitely different, but it turned people away because they're like, eh.
So, yeah, go ahead.
What about if you feel if a group is disbanded, but you feel like they never got
They never
They're
got
under
going.
both categories. they're right there because that's what happened. They went from one category, like whatever one they were, and then they just
and then they couldn't come back and they dropped out.
Yeah.
like history.
It's so
Oh
sad.
my god.
Sorry.
It's all painful. We know. It's painful. Yeah. What back here?
Astro?
I
I would
think
put them in the same category.
I think Astro's
Underappreciated.
underappreciated. Do you think?
Yeah, I would actually put them
They've
under,
got a pretty
underappreciated.
solid, like,
I feel like they're pretty popular these days. Yeah.
From experience, I work at a Kpop store, so if we receive merchandise or albums from a specific group, I don't think I would consider them underrated. Or
Well, I mean, you guys get a bunch of groups that are underrated. Like, I can go to Choice right now and find my name, but they are completely underrated.
The difference between Choice Music and a store like I'm from Texas, and they
Yeah, like if
never,
it's a
ever,
small
ever
little
got
store
an
that-
album, and all of a sudden the last one came out and they got 2 copies.
Yeah,
Really?
like,
That's
when
what
it comes to like
they-
tiny stores, like stores that you find in like H-Mart or something, they're gonna focus more on like the groups that have been like maybe the KCON because now that's like
Right, I guess
been
I'm saying anyone who's not
there.
in those stores counts in like in this category. Well, if you're at like, yeah, I mean, Choice is huge. Choice doesn't have
Yeah.
this everybody. They have hashtags out for God's sake. They only sold
I mean, I was able to get a Bastard album, and that's hard.
so my thing is like, if people come to my store and ask for a group, and like ask constantly, even if they're not really seen as like really popular, I would consider that not underrated. Like Momoland, for example, not underrated at all because we get people all the time asking for Momoland.
Mhm.
It's just like a thing like.
But was that
see how
before or
many people
after
ask
KCON?
For,
Was that before or after KCON last year?
Before.
Okay.
Before. We carry their stuff. We carry their albums. People ask for them. They're not underrated.
Yeah. But it's also very like subjective to like everyone's opinion. Like I can think of a group that I consider underrated. Like I'm gonna say it right now, NCT is completely underrated. And people will argue with me about that. However, their sales for their world tour were crap compared to what they could have been for an SM group.
That's true.
So,
I don't
despite
know.
the fact that they have like a huge fan base, this, that, and the other, their ticket sales were horrifyingly bad. And part of the reason was because a bigger group's tour was also announced, so all those ticket sales went to them instead. But it's like, that also now puts them into the underappreciated group.
Yeah, that's not necessarily groups. Yeah, that's their agencies.
No, it's not the agency.
Putting them into that.
Because
exercise.
their tour was announced before the bigger tour.
That's just what
I mean,
SM does. They did that.
Wait, like Luna is.
Yeah, they did
Definitely
that.
a
They did that for us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely very subjective to
This whole
opinion.
discussion is
But
definitely.
NCT is definitely one of the
Yeah.
groups that most people ask for in the store. They're probably
Yeah.
like top 5.
Like I said, it's always going to be subjective, like, 'cause especially for fans who only stand like underrated groups, to them, they're not underrated to them. Like, completely. They'll be like, oh, this.
So I want to ask you guys, what is the best thing about standing underrated groups to you? Like, what do you love about it? Over here.
I like the fandom, I think, because every fandom, I guess when a group gets bigger, there's a lot of toxic fans. Whereas with the small groups, like on Twitter, I find it easy to talk to people within the smaller group.
Right.
It's easier to make friends and it's easier to stay away from like drama.
Exactly.
And I like that a lot.
Yeah, perfect one. You're right here.
Like there's no like bandwagon fans, just because after like as a group that our group is not that successful, you can say that there's not a lot of people who just come in just for once. Like I think about like CLC, like I was there when they're like just starting out, and then I just see like bandwagon after they released Hobgoblin, but then they left after they came back with Where Are You, and then I just see that I was like.
So people are coming and going and not sticking
just
with
because
them.
they just want a specific type of thing from a group.
Right.
That, and then they don't like it, then they just leave. But I feel like I don't know, that's kind of toxic.
Yeah. What do you?
A few of my favorite things. One, I'm a hard girl group fan. I'm only starting to get into boy groups now. Now that I've finally like come out of my little comfort bubble. But my friend is a hard boy group fan, so we kind of swap back and forth on these smaller underrated groups that you don't really hear. Debatable one, very good. They're kind of in the middle there. And so it's like when I introduce them to my friends, they go, oh, I've never heard of them. They get into them, and then we can start talking about that kind of stuff. And that makes me feel really good. And then the other part of it is, it's not so much a solo stan or a toxic stan environment because everyone's there for the group. Not really a lot of people in these smaller groups are there for a specific person.
Yeah.
So it makes it feel like we're a group.
That.
I feel like sometimes it's easier to like interact with the idols themselves. Like
Yes.
on
Definitely.
Twitter, I stay on ladies posts, so like they're always like interacting with fans and stuff. Ashley herself said that she stalks their Twitter. It's just really fun.
Has anybody like actually like watched a V Live or an Instagram Live and had idols talk to them because they're so small? Have you guys had that experience yet?
Yeah.
Actually, on the way over here, yeah.
It's-
One of you guys find out Wallery was doing, or the two ladies from Wallery, the co-ed group.
Uh-huh.
They were doing a V Live, and I've gotten on there a few times before, and they saw me say something, and they both said hi.
And they actually talked back.
When they KCON, they told me,
Like I've tried to explain this to people who don't understand this whole loving the smaller groups, and I think that's one of the best things ever is that it's small enough that you get noticed and you do have an actual true real interaction.
Like they will actually talk to you individually.
So, and our experience was that we were talking about Attention. We went to their concert. How long has it been? Last June, so just over a year ago, and the audience was small enough that they could actually eye contact with almost everyone, and they were actually interacting and talking to the audience. And then afterwards, we did that pick a pose thing. Have you guys
Snapshot
any
poses.
experience the pick a pose thing where you actually get to stand by them and talk to
I
them?
actually
And
took photos for that because I did volunteer work for the first Attention show. So Wei was my person. He was just.
yeah, he was the one I think he
But
was
he
the one I
also
chose
didn't
out of all
wanna do
10
it.
to get a picture with.
He's like, "I'm tired."
He's amazing. So yeah, it's that kind of stuff that you're not going to get with the big groups like ever. Like
It's very
I know for sure. I wanted to go to All My Girls concert in Atlanta, but I couldn't just because of school. And I know that they ran out the whole entire venue. But the thing is that not a lot of people show, so they asked anybody who like were up in the stages to come down to like you can see the GA type of area, and it was like
A
it was a
party.
very small group.
so awesome.
I feel like the concerts they're a lot more smaller, but they're more intimate, they're more fun. And tickets are a lot easier to get.
Right.
Yeah.
When in comparison to competing for all the higher tones. It's more fun.
Exactly. Right
I
here.
was just gonna say, I know I stand some bigger groups, but I absolutely adore some smaller ones. I always get really excited when I can actually my album sale I think means something, or if I buy a few of them, I think that few gets them to a threshold like a.
Like you're making a
threshold.
difference
It
when you
means
actually buy
like,
something.
Yeah, I could buy 200 Twice albums, and that like changes them from having 171,900 to 100. Like who cares? But if I buy like a couple of Dream Note albums, and it gets them from like 150 to whatever, I don't know. I feel like I'm actually helping them by
Right.
doing something instead of just contributing to this large product. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Where does Oh My Girl fall into this? Underrated or underappreciated?
I'm not familiar enough.
I would say they sit on that stack.
Well, they were at KCON, what, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Not that means anything, but
I
at
feel
least
like-
they're in the
Like,
at least people are aware of
like
that.
yeah, like their name is known. I would say their name is known, which makes them probably like on the line.
On the line, yeah.
move on.
What do you guys? What's a con about loving a underrated group? Yeah, right here.
When Intuit takes over a year to have a comeback.
So you're waiting forever for comebacks. The forever waiting forever for comebacks. Yes.
Lisa.
Oh, I was like, you could never have them come over to America or just outside of Korea or Japan. It's so hard.
Yeah, they don't tour as
Yeah.
much.
They don't tour as
Yeah.
much.
Okay.
You have to go to Korea to see them.
There's a lot of, for these bigger groups, there's like backlogs and there's dedicated websites to like the TV shows they've been on, and there's like people who spend their entire day subbing those TV
Yeah,
shows.
translations.
But
So no subs. No
for
subs.
like our smaller groups, they either just don't get on some of these variety TV shows, or
You
if
can
they
never
do,
find subs.
nobody's subbing
Right.
them because nobody really.
Hmm.
Gotta learn Korean.
Yeah.
Definitely lack of merch.
Right here.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
Oh. Oh no.
Definitely lack of merch. Like I love to
Lack
buy
of
stuff
merch.
from some of these small groups and support them, but like the only stuff I can find is maybe one or two things on Redbubble, and I'm sure that doesn't go to them.
Yes.
So I'd love to be wearing all Dream Note stuff tonight, but that's not happening. So
Did you remember?
Yeah. Knowing they deserve more, like liking boys or girls that just like are so sweet
sweet and loving to like whatever to the small amount of fans that they have. So you want them to have more and you want more people to know about them. Just because you know.
Because they're so awesome.
So
Yeah.
the sad feeling
Yeah.
to come with.
Anything else right here?
Liking a group where the company doesn't do anything, and then they don't have any social media, like either for the group, like cons, where they might have a Twitter, or they might have a personal Twitter, but it's empty.
Yeah, they
There's
never use it.
basically nothing for it.
Hold on, Molly.
I was saying, well, people don't take you serious if you're staying in small groups, because I've had it happen to me. It's like, yeah, I like, Speed was one of them, and then.
Yeah.
It was another, I can't think of the name, but they did the song Really Go. Rigorous, but we were like, those are just rookies, and I'm like, they've been out for like a few years.
Yeah.
So it's just the feeling that people kind of like dish on smaller groups when it's like.
On that
Which
one,
doesn't make sense.
there are a lot of groups that have been out for years and they've like released songs, but people are only just now finding the song, but they're not paying attention to the year. So like, oh, they're copying this group. It's like, but this came out
That
like a long
years ago.
time for that group. We even released it. On the floor.
I actually had a question regarding that to a group called Rania.
Rania?
Yeah. They always have members either come in and out.
Oh
or
my
one of the girls that
God.
used to
Yeah,
be in the
that's
group is
all
actually
category.
here.
Oh, Alex.
Yep.
Yeah, she came here last year too.
So I'm just wondering what
Oh,
they fall
okay, okay, I know who you're talking about now.
Because they got screwed over by the label. Like,
Yeah,
they
the
really
label
got
screwed
paid.
them hardcore.
They
And
had to buy
then,
their own groceries, like. Alex
it
got
was
screwed over
also
mostly.
in Korea, they weren't very popular either, and that was because of Alex, and that was the whole, like, I'm gonna say it, the whole racist part of it, and it's just like, yeah, some of them liked it, but other than that, it's like that weird thing of when it comes to international group members in general, it's
Some of the
just
girls in the group didn't even like her.
that too.
Where does non-music stand? Because they had a long career, but they never got a win. They never did that. You can say, but a lot of people really.
I'd honestly shove them under both, to be honest.
Yeah.
Just 'cause like they did have like their popularity, but it wasn't like
Hype.
popularity. Yeah, that one's like a weird shelf
Yeah.
in the back.
I feel like for like the really underrated artists, kind of like what she was saying, when you go a long time without making a comeback and you get that like fear, like did the company pull the plug on them and just didn't say anything? And now you're finding out
Yeah.
it's
Or when a member decides to do their own thing and you're like, okay, but did they leave or are they just doing solo stuff? And then you find out later that they actually left. And it's just like,
One thing, I'm a music person, I love the music of it all, but one thing that really annoys me is when some of these bigger groups, Twice, Red Velvet, Blackpink, these big three groups do something in their music and people are like, oh, this is so innovative, it sounds so different. And it's like, but my group did that 3 years ago. Why are these guys
that's because
suddenly
3
getting all
years
the
ago
praise
it wasn't
for,
a
yeah.
thing, and then like the bigger groups, now it's a thing.
Yeah, and it's like, why,
Yeah, it's
why are
all
they
about
being
the trends.
praised?
Big three companies, that's why top three.
Yeah,
It
but it's
depends
kinda-
on the trend.
Well, big four if you count now, big hit.
Yeah. Big hits coming in.
What did you want to say over there?
Oh yeah, and going off of the taking months before, so a comeback, another comeback, like when a company prioritizes one group over another and has like multiple comebacks before this other group has had, like they have like a long, growing. Like, I would say, oh my girls, underappreciated with their brother group on and off, which is one of my favorite groups.
Yeah.
Like they have like 6-7 months of setbacks and they're not even considered reviews anymore, but they've only had 2 comebacks since.
Yeah, like you'll have those groups that'll be like, I'm gonna shell out as many things as possible in like the shortest amount of time and try to get that popularity, but then it just never takes off. Or you have those groups that are like, here's something, here's a few months, here's something, here's like a year, here's something, and then it also just never takes off. It's really weird. It's really weird.
Should we talk about ways to support our groups? We kind of mentioned that a little bit already,
Yeah.
but let's talk a little bit about that.
So I actually started discussing this at our panel yesterday with the
Struggles,
positives,
struggles.
negatives
Our
for our
struggles.
struggles panel. And like the main one was the Dam Cafe, If you've never heard of it, I would definitely look it up. It's spelled DAUM Cafe.
Dom Cafe?
Yeah, the Dom
But
Cafe.
usually I think it's only for Koreans. I don't know.
So they actually do have, if you look it up very carefully, in some of like the lower groups, like for Cheaper K, an example, they have the Korean version, and then in their form they also have an English version of how to like sign up for these, so that you can get access to like, oh well, here's like their neighbor voting, here's how to do it, here's how you can vote. That way you can like help support them. I would definitely recommend doing that. If you need to Google it, because like I know Tumblr is like a dying breed now, but you can also find like, here's translation of like, here's how to do this. You can definitely find ways, and if you can't, find your Korean friend or someone who speaks Korean and be like, help me translate this so I can get in. What's that?
I just mean
Oh, yeah.
I can translate.
Korean friend right here.
That's
Right
good.
there.
But definitely look at that, because like when it came to like 2for-K, my name, for me, I definitely used those a lot when they were actually still relatively a thing. But a lot of those times, the idols also use these cafe accounts as well. So you can even sometimes talk to the idols, because they'll be like, here, ask so-and-so a question, or it's their birthday, leave some support messages, because then that like helps raise their spirits as well. And you can find out, oh well, fan group A is doing a project in Korea. Here's how you can donate so that we can go to this the show or something, and put like the wreath and stuff out there. So that also helps show support, because that's in the front, and people are seeing that. So it's like, oh, this group A is here. I've never heard of them. They have like a wreath thing. It's really pretty. Let's go look them up and see what's up.
There's a website called MakeStar.
Yeah, MakeStar is also, it's getting really big. The one of them actually ended up failing was Big Star on MakeStar actually had to get refunded because they technically disbanded, almost, kind of. They're getting there. One of the members is like, I gotta go. And so they actually had to cancel the album, do a bunch of refunds.
So a big thing with MakeStar is to understand that like MakeStar has no risk. You know, you put forth money that you want to put forth to support your artist. If it doesn't go through, you get your money back.
Yeah.
And so there is, you know, relatively no risk. Like for example, like if I stand a lot, SIS, they just completed their MakeStar. It's almost gonna reach 9,000 now, and their goal is 5,700 for their fourth comeback in 2 years.
Oh wow.
Their comeback, their 2-year anniversary is actually on the 25th of this month, and so, and I put money forward to that. I put money forward. I've supported them since pre-debut, and the amount of support that they're getting is from overseas, not outside of it.
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of the misconception with MakeStar is that there's risk to it, but there's not.
It's not. It's kind of the same kind of field play for Indiegogo, GoFundMe's, like anything that you put money to on any of these channels. They have a disclaimer saying it's risk-free. If they screw you over, that isn't like a charity thing, then you can get your money back. Because I know
it's
a lot
all
of
or nothing. So if
yeah.
it does not reach 100%,
which is like why.
But SIS made it already in first place.
Yeah.
Which is
I did that too. You did that too?
Yes, I did. SIS made it in 17 hours, so that's
SIS and Saturday. So did you hear about Saturday? Saturday? That's also underrated. Saturday.
Oh yes.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Wi-Fi. Camping memory.
I'll have to look at. I work 10-hour shifts. 5 days a week, so I'm like, I am this far behind on groups. Like the amount of groups knowledge that I know for this year alone is very small because I have no time to myself.
So like right now I know on MakeStar, an underrated group is Girlkind XJR. They're currently doing their MakeStar, and it's not getting any funding whatsoever.
So for when it comes to like helping these idols get their funds, I would definitely find their fan base, even if it's like, you're mostly going to find it on Twitter. So if you're not Twitter active, you're definitely going to have to get Twitter active because that's where all your idols are. They don't go to like Tumblr. They don't really sit on Facebook because they can't. However, Twitter they have access to. Instagram they have access to, but it's harder to do it on Instagram in comparison to Twitter, because Twitter you can trend. Instagram is like a weird play field. Like you can post something, but will you get enough views on it? Will you get enough likes on it? However, Twitter, you can get the retweets and you can get the trending. So if you can find, say, for Saturday, was that one of the groups?
Saturday, yeah, Wi-Fi, Kpop.
So for Saturday, if you find like their Korean fan club president, you can get contact with them, be like, hey, can we try to do a trending on Saturday, January 1st of 2020, and let's get them to trend it and have them get all of the Korean fans together, and then you can help get all of the English fans, and they can help get like all the Brazil and this, that, and the other. Because the more you get something out there, the better it's gonna be. You just have to get Twitter happy. Twitter happy.
What else? We talked about buying albums, right?
Yeah, buying albums. I will suggest that if, when it comes to like underrated groups, Choice won't always have them. However, if you go to them and ask for help. So for me, I found a duo rapper group called Bastard, and I loved their album. I wanted it so bad. Couldn't find it anywhere, couldn't find it online, nowhere. I thought the album just didn't exist. So, but it was there, I saw a photo of it. So I asked Choice, I was like, hey, is there any way you can help me get this? They went to their supplier. Their supplier went and found this album for me and shipped it. No extra cost. They were very nice about it. They're like, here you go. I paid for it, and I was like, wow, I have an album that like I can't find anywhere, ever. So yeah, if you need to, and you really, really want to support, and you can't find it like on Mixta or Mnet, because I think they still do like their fan meet thing. It used to be a lot cooler years ago, but now it's really boring. Sorry. But Choice is another good option because they will have their supplier look for it. If you're willing to buy it, they will help you. So don't be afraid to ask for help.
I think the actual way to help them is actually you need to fly to Korea and assign.
I am going to fly to Korea.
Attend the fan meeting and fan sign. That's the one that's actually making a lot of money, actually.
The weird part about that, though, is that a lot of people don't have that money.
Yeah, I
to do
know.
that. Especially when, like, you're not going to find out about that fan meet until, like, 2 weeks ahead of time, and by then the ticket sales are going to be like, whoosh.
And especially for the Maxstar, they have an option. If you purchase the most expensive one, like $450 one, they have a fan meeting.
I mean, they
and
have
then you have a fan sign, but then you actually have to fly.
Yeah, you have to go there. But at least you kind of have notice of that one.
Yeah.
In the back.
I was gonna say, even though you can't go to a fan sign, even if you want to buy like a slot from someone, that's probably another good way to help because they're buying it directly in Korea and it's going straight to.
Yeah, group orders is another big thing. If you can find like a group order mod, a trustworthy one, like look them up. Do not just go, oh, this person's doing group order. Don't like research your people because I've seen so many people get scammed in this community. It's sad. Look up what these people are. Look up reviews. Find them, and if they're like trustworthy, go ahead and like help them out. Group order.
Did you read the article in the Korean Times today about the woman scam?
Oh yeah, I read that.
So like scam. She was selling tickets to I think bigger groups, but like BTS and other groups, but she was selling like fake tickets or something, or scamming. It's like how scalpers are.
Just worse, apparently.
But just for your information, Korea for concert, scalpers are illegal. But here you can do that. So I think for BTS concert or whatever now, you need to get your ID now. So you need to purchase your ticket and you need to prove who you are. So you need to have your ID.
Yeah, I'm going to the show, and I actually have to have my passport to go to it. Yeah.
Not anymore. Here, yes, but Korea, no.
Yeah, my friends, or Heather, she's like, make sure you bring your passport from when we go to the show.
We went to M Countdown and had to show our passport also.
Yeah. So at least they're doing something. America, take note. You had a question?
I just had a comment. I remember back when Neon Punch was doing their Big Star for, I believe, their third comeback, which still hasn't come out yet. But I remember as the alternative, like for the highest tier for the alternative to the fan sign, they were offering like a video call with the members for people that couldn't fly out, which is really cool. And also add that on to the pros of like.
Yeah, actually it's for all the options, like a Saturday or SIS, same thing. I mean, you know, you don't want to spend like $1,300 for Korea. So they give you maybe 5 or 10 minutes of FaceTime or whatever. Yeah, that's right. It's an alternative. When you want to go.
Go for it. Say
something. Earlier someone said just something about not having money. So going along with like not having money, if like that part is hard for like you to support someone, I think also simply just on social media like Instagram or Twitter, just to interact with them and comment on their stuff and like send them, like tag them in stuff of like messages of support or love or whatever. I think that makes a big difference and like impact on them to like have motivation and keep going. And that's something that anyone can do. And
also streaming videos anyone can do.
Is that even in English? Because I remember, only do Intuit, so ignore me. But for Intuit, when they'll mention that the Korean isn't correct, and then be like, oh, they must have Google translated that, and then so it's still like they don't quite understand what's said. You know what I mean? So is English? Do you guys think it's English is satisfactory when you're trying?
When you're talking to them like on Twitter and you're.
Yeah, like if you're going to do a post and.
I still think so. Yeah.
But Google Translate sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So.
Or you could try to do. Yeah, you could like try to do Korean, but like put like 미국 팬이에요, like I'm an American fan, and then they'll like know that all the mistakes are cute. Like
we think they're cute.
Yeah, like they love when we try to speak Korean and there are mistakes.
A lot of idols really practice hard on their English, especially, so talking to them in English also benefits for them as well, because in like Korea versus Japan will have more things in English, but for them to speak English is very, very small. But in Korea, this is according to my friend who's been to both countries multiple times, is finding things in English, very small, but being able to like talk to them a little bit or like get by in English is helpful. So it's better to talk to them in your language than accidentally make a mistake through Google. Like you might offend someone.
Okay, before we run out of time, one thing I really wanted to do was have you guys like kind of shout out or pump up some of your favorite underrated artists. One of our favorite things on our channel is to do compilation videos, and so we're going to make a list of who you guys love.
Who you guys want to be
and
in
then
video.
And then favorite.
We're gonna make a list here and try to make a video after KCON and to highlight your guys' favorites.
Raise of hands.
So you said
Saturday Wi-Fi favorite Luca.
Are you getting that?
Saturday.
Okay, right here.
So I actually had a question. I have a list of about 80 groups that are all below 500,000 views. Do you want me to provide you guys with that list?
No, I want you to tell me your most favorite. Your most favorite on that list.
Your top one favorite underrated.
Who's your favorite?
Who do you
on
want
that
us,
list?
everyone in here to know?
Yeah, who's on there that you want us to know about?
Airisu, AIRISU. Their MV is like 7,000 views, and that's their most popular MV.
You guys know Woods, aka Sunyoung from Protosexual. Yeah, what?
Oh,
yeah. And like Woods, his MV Different, when that first came out and when I first fell in love with it, it had 7,000 views. And now it's over 1 million.
Wow.
That's just so crazy.
What are your take on shows like Producer 101 or even the Unit, because that's mostly underrated groups that participated? What's your take on that?
I kind of honestly put Cause that was pure like underrated group with like a couple people that were even in the industry yet. I'm
not that familiar with.
I watched like a little bit of it, and honestly, it felt a little bit biased to me. Cause yeah, for me personally, it just felt really biased. And partly it's individual fan base, cause now you're in comparison to Produce 101, where yeah, you do have like the group members that are able to get on there. A lot of it is they're not even in the industry yet, so they don't really have like that fan base to like push them forward. When it comes to like unit, they had at least small fan bases for all these groups, so now it's just fan base versus fan base. That's why I didn't really like it, because a lot of it was fan vote anyway, and even then a lot of it was internationally blocked. You couldn't vote unless you were able to like get in a Korean account, and a lot of it you had to have like.
You need to be in the country because they will block IP address, so it doesn't matter.
So it was based off Korean fan bases only, so it's just like it hurt even worse.
For me, for shows like Produce 101 and stuff, I feel like if like I like it when it's the trainees that haven't been already in a group, because that gives them like a chance. And I think it's also good for groups that haven't been active for a long time, just to like give them another start.
Like it worked out very well for newest.
Yeah,
right.
And because but like coming back to Uptension, like I didn't really like I appreciate the popularity that they're gaining, but I felt like it wasn't really needed for them to go on it because they were active, like they were on a tour while the show was running, and like I don't know, but yeah. Anyway.
Okay, should we shout out some more names?
Madtown.
Madtown.
Yeah.
Madtown. Right here.
If Park Jimin doesn't count, then
Yeah.
Come back here.
Dream Note, Nature, Purple Back, even though there's
Purple Bag. We saw them at M Countdown. Are you getting all these fast?
Hold on.
We forgot to bring a pen.
Dream Note, Nature, Purple Bag.
Okay, over here.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Right here.
Astronomy.
Did you do that one? Okay,
So
right here.
mad that we have gone a year without
Pixar?
getting our third song.
Big Star. Big Star. Right here.
They'll show that and Gugudon. I don't know how Gugudon.
Gugudon.
Gugudon is kind of like in that weird middle ground.
Yeah.
I'll put them on.
Okay, right here. Into it?
Into it?
I was like,
should I say that
way
loud
back
or
in the
I
back.
can spell it?
Ace and unique.
Ace and Unique.
Yeah.
Right here.
I think high 4.
Oh,
High
this-
4. Then impact still.
You can also pick
And VAV?
banded groups.
Oh, disbanded too?
Yeah, let's show them
I would've
past
opened it
love.
Okay, let's go way back in the back. Huh?
Top dogs.
Top dog. Right here.
I know these two only recently debuted, but Bandit and Kangshuan.
Bandit and what?
Kangshuan. K-A-N-G-X-I-W-O-N.
Okay.
Okay, right here.
And Bandit is spelled B-V-N-D-I-T.
B as in boy, B as in Victor.
Yeah.
That's Chungha's.
Oh, Bandit.
Sister group.
Yeah.
I saw them in Korea for like 2 seconds on the street.
We can do soloists, right?
Sure.
Kim City?
Sorry.
The girl behind the colored hair.
All in all,
Oh, on
Yeah. We know. Right here, these guys. Yeah.
Krusty and Laboon.
Are you doing it?
April and Mr.
Ooh, I haven't heard April.
April is so
And what?
Mr.
And Mr.
Okay, right back here. Yeah, you.
I was the only person that recognized Pungangi.
Yeah, it's underneath.
That's what you said.
So P-U-N-G.
P-U-N-G.
Oh, wow.
D-E-N-G dash E. Phone Benji.
Right here. Yeah, right here. Uh-huh.
Boyfriend and annoy.
Boyfriend and annoy?
Ooh, like blue.
E-N-O-I. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I thought you said annoy like.
Annoy.
You know
which one she's talking about.
Yeah,
Who has it right here? We haven't got you yet, right?
I would say Brave Girls.
Oh, yeah.
And then like
They're
Way in the
kinda,
back.
like becoming
Hot Shot is good.
Attention.
Yeah.
Yay, attention.
Kind of. They're kind of.
In the CLC shirt.
Trey.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
In the striped shirt. Oh, the rose is a good one.
Yay, the rose.
The tiny little tour that
Who
they
else
had.
have we not, who else has not had a chance yet? Right here.
Lucente and D-Crunch.
Crunch. Right here?
I think, I guess, they only, like, kind of recently debuted, but they haven't really promoted in, like, Korea or anything, but, Aston and Beezy Boys. Beezy also stands for Blue Zone Boys.
Okay, okay. All right, who else has not said one yet? Right here?
Speed and Noir.
Oh,
Mhm. Some favorites of ours,
In the moon shirt.
Two Eyes and Dean.
Two eyes?
Yeah,
Two eyes, like these eyes?
Not twice.
The number two.
Interesting.
I
haven't heard of this.
In the floral with the green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Voice Fur and 7 o'clock.
Oh, voice for action.
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. Right here.
Good day.
Oh, good day.
Oh, good day.
Good day.
Rolling.
Good day.
Oh my
Who
God.
hasn't said something yet?
Right here. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
New kid.
New kid? Yeah, if they just debuted like within a month or two, let's give them some time. What- Put 'em down there.
What was yours?
Joey.
Joey?
Joey.
Oh,
In the XO shirt?
Joohee.
IZ?
IZ, like
Oh.
IZ one.
Oh,
They're so big.
oh, the band, yes. Okay, who else? Who else has not had a chance? Have you had a chance yet?
Oh, no.
I was gonna say Speed too, but that's been also Spectrum.
Okay.
Florida girls.
Pretty much everyone. Oh.
Oh yeah, there.
They really messed up the names.
Okay, way back there in the hat.
Elvis?
Yes.
My name. This is gonna be a long compilation video.
That's okay.
That's good. We
Just
want to do
spit it out.
that.
You got them on Sports Video.
She's done some that are like 100
I do like
songs.
101 songs for blah blah
History,
blah.
yeah. History? Somebody say history?
I didn't.
She said history. And you said no name. We
No,
needed
my name.
My name.
I mean my name.
Don't you hit on my boy.
My name. Is that on your list?
Yeah.
Melody Day.
Melody Day. Lisa?
Oh my God, yes.
Wait, what? New. What?
Say that one again.
Oh,
no,
you kiss.
You kiss. You kiss.
You kiss.
Right.
You kiss.
We got, yeah.
Gentlemen, in the gray shirt.
1 2 down.
1 to what?
1 2 down.
1 2 down.
1 2 down.
I'm gonna have to look up some of these groups in the green shirt. Oh, okay, okay.
Actually,
Her boy.
it's pronounced as Kuna Kun.
I have actually been really confused by that. I'm
Kuna Kun.
Remember that now that he said that.
I know.
There's one down here.
What's yours?
Oh, hello Venus and what's up? The dollars.
Oh, what's up?
Oh, what's up?
Hello, Venus.
But not just like random.
And instead of S's, it's the dollar signs for what's up.
Yeah.
In the red in the very back.
Legend.
Yes.
Wait, what time is it?
It's not. It's like.
It's 5:18. Okay.
That's not quite 5:20.
No, I was saying keep playing that game.
This one,
By
so let's do name that tune now.
Alright, 2 more and then we're gonna switch over to something else.
McKay. McKay. McKay.
McKay. Oh.
Okay, 1 more.
I love this one.
1 more. 1 more.
One more. Right here. Do you want to close this out with?
Very good.
Very good.
Very good.
Very.
B-E-R-R-Y.
Okay, we're gonna move back to doing a little bit of name that tune again. Just
Now that we have
till we. I don't know when we're supposed to end, but.
5:30. Technically we're supposed to start at 4:30, but we
We're gonna end at 5:30. We're gonna end at 5:30.
You get a supper with us.
So we're gonna see if you guys know any of the songs that are on our list and play some more of Name That Tune. Hopefully this will work.
You want us to just shout it out?
Raise your hand. Let's raise your hand and
You
then
guys
we'll.
have to be watching.
Huh?
You guys have to be watching.
Yeah. I don't think it'll be that.
Okay. I don't know if it's connected still.
This to this.
Hold on.
Technical difficulty.
Oh, it just died on us for a second.
Do you have to say the name of the song or just the artist?
Either one, or both of you know it, but
If no one knows it, then either one.
At least the group preferred, but if you know the song too, double clap.
Is it going now?
Okay. You were first.
Your airplane mode.
Yeah.
Do you want to come get? Do you guys want to come grab a candy, or do you want me to? Because it might be scary if I throw it.
She's not allowed to throw it.
Well, these things are really dangerous too. So you guys can come grab a candy if you want, if you guess correctly.
Oh, okay. Oh,
That one.
Do you know it? Or should we?
That's fine.
But isn't it Romance?
Yes, it is.
Romance.
Yeah.
Do you want
Okay.
another candy?
Okay.
1, 2.
Yeah.
What is
Jumped out of your chair. Everything you were ready. She got a heart attack. Okay, next.
Back there.
Yeah.
You want to come get candy? I just chuck it.
What do you want? Do you want a Tootsie Roll, dots, or whatever? I'll bring you the. What do you want? Tootsie Roll, dots, or a lollipop?
What color?
Orange or blue or brown? Give her the brown one.
The brown one.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Molly.
Okay.
Oh, God.
It's on the pink hair.
Try not to shout it out because then you'll give someone else the answer. But I did see her hand go up first.
You're first again.
I don't know what she wants.
Right here.
No,
I think. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Impact is right.
Oh, so fun. You want a candy?
She's like, yes.
I'm gonna see if anyone knows this.
I'll give you until the words start.
Dang, I should have done the different one.
No one? Pump them up.
What? Okay, this is Movning. Go look them up. They're amazing.
They're one of our favorites, so yes, go check them out.
Do-do-do.
You guys?
Unique. Oh, unique. Falling in love.
Yes.
It's unique.
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Get myself.
Someone suggested Beat Them.
This is on our list that we got?
Yeah,
Oh,
someone
Heather?
said them. What? No.
And no one?
No one? What was it?
IZ.
Oh. Didn't someone suggest
over
them
here.
too?
That's what I said.
Yep.
Well, anyway, next. Epiphany, Heather, epiphany. If you know the song title, we'll get to it.
Pause, I can't hear it.
JJCC?
No. I love them though.
That is another good one too. Did someone else raise their hand over here? I swear I thought I saw.
No.
You would know.
She's like,
I'd out of this chair getting candy if it was into it.
Oh, it's History.
Do that.
Song, I Got You.
I got you. Yeah.
Oh! oh my girl, remember me.
Yes.
You're gonna give someone a heart attack, man. She's like staring at me now.
You want more candy?
She's gonna have like a heart attack before she leaves this car. She's like, I don't want to sit here anymore.
Okay.
They just said it.
Lolly.
Yes. No, not YOLO.
Oh my god, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's really finished since I listened to it.
Hey, the intros sound the same.
You can get down. Candy. You did good proofread though, so.
Okay.
Unless someone else will do the bad one.
Run away.
Yeah.
Did you know it? Did you know it right off?
I thought it was that, but I didn't want to.
I played it for you. Oh, oops. That was an accident, but you can have it.
5, 4.
It's into it, and it's
You don't have to name it.
Okay. Is it amazing? No.
Yeah, it is amazing.
It is. Alright. Hi, Heather.
Oh. You've gotten too many.
She's gotten a lot too. Was there somebody over here that hasn't got one yet? That knows it?
Very good.
It was very good. Oh crap, I lost it. 1 sec. Or are we good?
We have
I
like,
don't know.
I mean, we can go like 2 more minutes if.
How many songs gonna squeeze into 2 minutes?
if everybody is good to keep going.
Well, they had to.
Spectrum.
It's Spectrum. Yes.
She's got a pile going for you here.
Oh. What's the name of the song?
Oh wait, the name of the song?
Well, it said the name of the group in the song.
What's up?
No.
Did you guys hear what they said?
No, I didn't hear it.
It's Aza and Edgy, right?
Yes.
You want more?
Do do do. Artist says it in it.
Who had it first over here? Somebody? What is it?
Oh, is it
Attention.
Attention.
Do you want candy?
This one might be hard. This song was really fun.
Everybody?
This is Ready Q by Jo Jung Min.
No?
I like the voice.
See, now you know a new one to go look up.
Jo Jung Min.
What is it?
Binding to a very soft.
Yep.
Yes.
My baby. Do you want more candy?
What? Yeah.
Come on, Lisa. It's mine and Shelby's favorite group.
Bum bum bum.
Do you want candy? Do you want candy? I just know you said, oh, this is your favorite. Oh, I'm like, yes, keep more candy. I was like, you should know my like top two.
What over here? Top dog? Yep.
Top dog.
Yeah,
The
you said
beat.
it.
I'm trying to like search.
I think we can do it.
One more song? One more? Like one more? What's up?
Okay.
We're just gonna let that play. Just let that play.
Yeah.
If you guys can, we're gonna be done. Thanks for coming. It's so much fun to talk about our favorite underrated groups. If you guys can sit your chairs back to the wall. Thanks so much for coming. Yay.
And make sure to support your babies.
Yeah.
All underrated groups are babies.
Can I just say that ASC, After School Club, is really good about underrated groups. Like most of the popular groups that were listed that people freaked out about are usually on that channel. Yeah, it's on Arirang, which is mostly English.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's awesome. We should support them more too, huh?
definitely
We watch them.
Yeah, we watch them. We watch them.
Not enough. Thanks for coming.
Sorry, what was the name of your YouTube channel again?
The Kpop.
Do you want? I have a little card.
With a K.
Okay.
Converters with a K.
Okay. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
It's coming.
Yeah, we should have pumped that up a little bit to watch the whole person video. Check out our channel. Can we take our little makeups now? What can I do for you?
What does it say in Korean?
Oh, there's a I can't see this.
You can leave it if you're in here again tomorrow.
No, I'll go to
The
it.
title
I'll go to it
song.
Title
Into
song?
its second single title song.
So the title song on this.
Title song.
So Into the Night Fever was
What's the title song? I have no idea.
Heather.
The title song?
Second single on Into It. What was